You know, there's something fascinating about the way people react to fear. They don't fear guns, they don't fear threats. They fear uncertainty, the quiet man who speaks softly, moves deliberately, and carries a kind of wisdom that feels unsettling. People fear what they cannot grasp, a shadow they cannot predict, a man they cannot read. And that, my friend, is where true danger begins. Most people live loudly. They display their intentions like neon signs, their desires, their insecurities, their desperate need to be seen. But the man who withholds himself, the man who refuses to be simple, refuses to fit inside anyone's expectations, that man becomes a paradox. And people do not like paradoxes. They like labels clean, comfortable, reassuring labels. But a paradox cannot be labeled. It can only be feared. They don't fear him because he's violent. They fear him because he's calm. They fear him because he observes, calculates, and smiles as if he already knows the ending of a story. You haven't even begun reading. Wisdom is not polite. It's not soft. And it's certainly not earned through pleasant memories. No, dangerous wisdom comes from scars. From betrayals you never forgot. From watching human nature reveal itself in all its naked ambition. When you've seen people for who they truly are. Their impulses, their motives, their masks. You stop being surprised. You stop being reactive. You become strategic. And strategy is infinitely more terrifying than strength. People fear the man who thinks in silence. They fear the man who knows them better than they know themselves. Who sees their fear before they feel it? Who understands what they're capable of, long before they face it? This kind of wisdom doesn't just give you an advantage. It places you in an entirely different league. A man who sees the board will always unsettle the ones who only see the pieces. And yet, despite the fear, despite the whispers, no one really understands a man like that. How could they? To understand him, they would need to survive what he survived. They would need to walk through the same corridors of silence, make the same impossible decisions, carry the same weight of knowledge. But people don't want to walk into the dark. They want simple answers, simpler villains. So they call him a criminal, a manipulator, a monster, anything that helps them sleep at night. Because if they admit the truth, that he's not a monster at all, but a man shaped by the world they ignore, then they would have to confront their own illusions. And no one wants to confront themselves. People fear a man like this, not because he is dangerous, but because he understands danger. He knows when to strike, and when not to. He knows which secrets matter, and which lies should remain untouched. He knows that power isn't loud. Power is the ability to stay silent, while everyone else shouts nonsense. Most importantly, he knows how people justify their own mistakes, how they betray themselves long before they betray others. And when a man knows all that, you cannot deceive him. You cannot manipulate him. You cannot predict him. And humans fear nothing more than the impossibility of control. So, what's the real lesson here? Don't fear a man because he has power. Fear him because he has perspective. Fear the man who listens more than he speaks. Fear the man who no longer seeks validation. Fear the man who is perfectly content being misunderstood, because he doesn't need your understanding to shape the world around him. Everyone fears him. No one understands him. And he prefers it that way. If this little reflection intrigued you, leave a comment. Tell me which part made you uncomfortable. Those are always the most revealing. And of course, subscribe and like the video. Knowledge this sharp shouldn't be handled alone.